Let's keep that conversation going now with the Environment and Water Minister in Canberra, Tanya Plibersek, joins us. Tanya, good to see you, by the way. So we've got some figures there from Lucy. So 70,000 households have joined Origin Energy's hardship program. AGL says 20,000 customers are on its version of a hardship program. So what do you say to those folks this morning about how your government is bringing down costs?
Yeah, we know that families are doing it really tough at the moment, and when it comes to power prices, we brought in a $3 billion package before the end of the year last year to bring down power prices for families and for businesses. That was a package, of course, that the opposition voted against. We've got rebates of up to $500 for eligible families. We hope that takes the pressure off a little bit. But we also need to look at the other areas of cost of living where we can help families. And so, for example, we're investing in bringing down the cost of medicines. We're halving the price of medicines for millions of Australians. We're helping more Australians see a doctor for free by increasing the bulk billing incentives. We've got our increases to benefits, particularly for sole parents, but also for students and pensioners and others. We're investing in free TAFE. We're doing our very best across these cost of living areas to take pressure off families. And we have to do that in a way that doesn't add to inflation. We've got a real problem with inflation in this country at the moment. So we're carefully balancing taking the pressure off families with making sure we're not adding to inflationary pressures.
OK, well, despite those rebates that you pointed out there, some customers are going to face, some of them anyway, a jump of 80% when the new financial year ticks over next week. So realistically, that energy saving that was promised during the election campaign, is that hot air now?
Well, we certainly are seeing lower increases than we would if the government hadn't intervened in the market. And we've intervened to keep power prices lower. I mean, they're going through the roof around the world. A lot of that is related to the conflict in the Ukraine, of course. But our intervention is keeping power prices lower than they otherwise would be. I'm not for a minute saying that everything's fine, nothing to see here. We know families are doing it tough, and that's why we're providing rebates. It's why we're continuing to work with the energy sector. It's why we're engaged in the energy transition we're engaged in, because we know longer term, the best thing we can do to get power prices down is see more cheaper, cleaner, renewable energy in the system.
Well, on that point, actually, Tanya, that point, AEMO said this week that not enough is being done to replace closing coal power. Not enough is being done on renewables and more of them. So do you need to move faster when it comes to investment or, in your space, gas approvals?
Well, we've doubled the rate of approvals of renewable energy projects since I've become minister. We're certainly working to get those thousands of kilometres of transmission lines laid as well. We know that there's interest in investing in renewable energy projects from businesses that want to see more renewable energy, but we need to make sure that our grid is ready to take those additional renewable energy projects from where the energy is produced into people's homes and businesses. And we are very much getting on with the job. We've got our renewable energy offshore wind zones underway. We've got, as I said, speeding up the process of approving renewable energy projects. We're getting the transmission lines down. This is a massive transformation. We're going for 82% renewable energy in our grid by 2030. We've got effectively 82 months to get from around 30% renewable energy in our grid to 82% renewable energy in our grid. That is a massive undertaking, but we're getting on with the job.
Okay.
And we know that that's going to bring down prices for families. There's a reason millions of homes and businesses have put solar panels on the roofs, because it's cheaper.
Just a final one on The Voice, Tanya. Do you support legal limits on its scope?
Well, I think the most important legal limit on the scope of The Voice is that it doesn't have a veto power over government legislation. This is about two really important things. It's about acknowledging Aboriginal people in our Constitution, in our founding document. Our Constitution was written at a time when Australia was still considered officially terra nullius. It was written at a time when Aboriginal people were thought to be a dying race. I'm really proud of the fact that we've got 65,000 years of culture and history to learn from and draw on here in Australia, and our Constitution should recognise that. When it comes to The Voice, this is an advisory body. It's about listening. If we make a decision about local government, we talk to the Australian Local Government Association. If we make a decision about farmers and agriculture, we talked to the National Farmers Federation. There's nothing wrong with listening to the people who are affected by government decisions when you're making decisions about their lives. We make better decisions when we do that.
Your voice a little husky this morning, Tanya. Did you have a rager last night?
Well, I might have had a slightly late night, yes.
Well, you deserve it after a long couple of weeks there in Canberra. Tanya Plibersek, appreciate your time.